All right, ready to roll up our sleeves and dive into the world of vehicle glazing.
Let's do it.
We're going deep on what it takes to be a vehicle glazier, busting some myths along the way, and arming you with the know-how to ace that interview.
It's more than just replacing windshields, that's for sure.
Exactly. So before we get into those interview questions, let's set the scene. What does a vehicle glazier actually do? It's more than meets the eye, right?
Way more. Think of it this way. Every piece of glass in a vehicle, windshields, side windows, sunroofs, you name it, they all play a crucial role in safety and the car's structural integrity. A vehicle glazier, they're like the unsung heroes making sure all that glass does its job.
So it's not just about knowing how to swap out a windshield, it's understanding how it all fits together.
Exactly. A good vehicle glazier needs to be a pro with different glass types, installation techniques, the works, and they've got to be problem solvers ready to handle any curveballs that come their way.
Like when a part doesn't fit quite right, or there's hidden damage.
Exactly. And that's something interviewers are going to be laser focused on, your ability to think on your feet. It's all about showcasing your thought process, like in question number 8, when they ask about troubleshooting.
Makes sense. So what kind of answer would really impress them on that one?
It's not enough to just say you'd identify the problem. They want to hear how you'd actually do that.
Right, like, would you consult resources? Test out solutions?
Exactly. Break the problem down, think critically under pressure. Those are the magic words.
It's all about showing them you can handle the pressure and think critically. That's gold in any job, really.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to get specific. Sharing a real-life example of a time you nailed a tricky fix, that's what sets you apart. Think back to a time when you faced a real head-scratcher, maybe an electrical issue with a new windshield, all those fancy rain sensors and lane departure warnings.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sharing that step-by-step process, showing them you can analyze and solve problems, that's huge.
You got it. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about staying current with industry trends.
Because this field is always evolving, right? New tech, new techniques, the whole 9 yards.
You nailed it. The automotive world never sits still, and vehicle glazing is right there with it. And you know what? The career guide we have actually highlights this, specifically mentioning how things like CAD software and laser cutting technology are becoming more and more important in the field.
Okay, so it's not just about knowing the old school stuff. It's about being ready to adapt to new technologies too. So how can a candidate show they're on top of their game?
Well, for starters, they could work it into their answer for question 6, the one about staying current with industry trends. Instead of just saying they subscribe to trade magazines, which is great and all, they could talk about a specific new technology they've been reading up on.
So show some initiative, demonstrate that they're actively seeking out knowledge. That's a winner right there.
Exactly, like maybe a new, more efficient method for calibrating those advanced driver assistance systems we talked about earlier.
Now that's impressive. They'd see you're not just aware of the trends, but actively invested in honing your skills.
Right on. Employers, they love to see that proactive mindset, someone who's eager to stay ahead of the curve.
And it's not all high tech, right? There's still a need for that, like, artisan touch, especially with custom glass installations.
Oh, absolutely. Classic cars, luxury vehicles, custom builds. That's where a vehicle glazier can really show off their skills and artistry. Question 9 in our list actually touches on this, asks about your experience in this area.
Okay, so for those listening who have experience with custom installations, what's the key to hitting a home run with this question?
Passion. This is your time to let that enthusiasm shine. Talk about the projects you're most proud of, the challenges you tackled, the feeling of seeing that finished product. Did you ever restore a vintage car to its former glory? Or help a client create their dream camper van with panoramic views? Those stories, they stick with people.
It's about bringing your experience to life, showing them you're not just going through the motions.
Exactly. But what about those who maybe haven't had a ton of experience with custom work yet? Should they just, avoid this field altogether?
Not necessarily.
Mm.
I bet there's a way to spin this, even without a ton of direct experience.
For sure. Honesty is always key. Don't try to fake experience you don't have. Instead, use this question as a chance to show off your eagerness to learn. You could say something like, while my experience with custom installations is limited at this point, I'm really interested in this side of the field. The craftsmanship, the precision, it's fascinating to me, and I'm confident that my skills in cutting and installation would be a solid base to build upon.
There you go. Enthusiasm and a willingness to learn, those can be just as valuable as years of experience, especially in a field that's always moving and shaking.
Couldn't agree more. All right, let's switch gears for a sec and tackle a question that tends to trip people up. Question number 7, all about customer service.
Ah, yes, the dreaded customer service question.
Yeah.
But it's unavoidable, right? As a vehicle glazier, you're not just dealing with glass and tools, you're dealing with people.
Exactly. And let's be real, not all customers are a walk in the park. You might get someone who's stressed, upset about their insurance, maybe just having a bad day in general.
So how do you show the interviewer that you can handle those tricky situations with grace and, keep your cool?
Empathy and understanding, that's the name of the game. Remember, to that customer, this might be the most stressful part of their week. So how do you make that interaction smoother? A friendly greeting, actively listening to their concerns, explaining the repair process in a way they can understand those things go a long way.
It's about making them feel heard and valued, even if their windshield is, well, not in the best shape.
You got it. And it goes beyond just being polite. It's about managing expectations. If there are delays or unexpected problems, how do you communicate that effectively?
Transparency is key.
100%. Transparency builds trust, and that can turn a negative experience into a positive one.
Okay, let's dive into some questions that really let you flex your technical muscles. We've got question 1, focusing on your experience with different types of vehicle glass.
Right. And that goes hand in hand with question 4, where they'll want to hear about your experience with the tools of the trade.
So it's not enough to just say, yep, I've replaced a windshield before. How can a candidate really wow them with their knowledge here?
Specificity is key. Instead of just rattling off every tool you own, talk about the ones you're most comfortable with and why. Do you have a go-to brand of glass cutter? A special technique for those stubborn side windows? Maybe there was a time you had to improvise a solution with the tools you had on hand.
It's all about showing them you're not just following a script. You understand those tools inside and out.
And don't forget to bring it back to those industry trends we talked about. If you've been researching laser cutting technology, for example, mention how you're excited to incorporate that into your work. Shows you're forward thinking, always looking for ways to up your game.
Love it. Now, let's not forget one of the most crucial aspects of this job, safety.
Absolutely. Question 2 dives right into safety protocols, and this is not the area to skimp on the details.
Right, because it's not just about your own safety. It's about protecting the vehicle and ensuring a quality repair. What should a candidate focus on when answering this question?
You want to demonstrate that safety is ingrained in every single thing you do, not just an afterthought. Talk about your pre-work routine. Do you scan the area for hazards? Double-check your equipment, mentioning specific safety gear gloves, safety glasses, proper ventilation when working with adhesives. That all shows you're serious about safety.
It proves you're not just following the rules because you have to, but because you're truly committed to a safe work environment.
Exactly. And this isn't the time to brag about close calls or risky shortcuts. Safety first, always.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from troubleshooting to staying ahead of the curve, customer service, even the importance of safety. But there's one more question that's all about quality control, right?
You got it. Question 5 is all about making sure every installation and repair meets those high standards.
It's like that final once-over before you hand the keys back to the customer, right? Making sure everything is absolutely perfect. What does a vehicle glazier do to guarantee that top-notch quality?
It's all about the details, showing that you don't cut corners. Do you have a mental checklist you run through? Maybe double-checking the alignment of the glass, making sure those seals are airtight and all the electronics are firing on all cylinders.
So instead of just saying, I made sure it works, you're painting a picture of that meticulous process.
Exactly. And don't just tell them what you check. Explain why it matters. Why is a proper seal so crucial? What could happen if those electronics aren't hooked up just right? That deeper understanding, that's what makes an impression.
It's like you said earlier, it's the difference between a job done and a job well done.
Yeah.
And you know what else can make a big difference? RoleCatcher. It's this amazing AI tool that can be a game changer for anyone prepping for a vehicle glazier interview.
It's true. We've been talking about these interview questions in a general sense, but RoleCatcher takes it to a whole new level. It analyzes the specific job description you're going for, helps you tailor your answers to highlight the exact skills and experience that employers looking for.
So it's like having a custom-made cheat sheet for your interview. No more generic advice. It's all about you and that specific opportunity.
You got it. And it doesn't stop there. RoleCatcher can even help you fine-tune your resume and cover letter, making sure you're putting your best foot forward right from the start.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal career coach in your pocket.
And one of the coolest features is the AI feedback. You can practice answering interview questions either by typing or even recording a video, and RoleCatcher will give you personalized feedback on your delivery, clarity, how well you're getting your point across.
That's so valuable. It's like having a mock interview with an expert, but you can do it anytime, anywhere. Feeling more confident about that interview now. We've covered a ton of ground today, from the technical skills to those all-important soft skills, and even how to use AI to your advantage. Remember, preparation is key, and we've armed you with the knowledge and tools to absolutely crush it.
Absolutely. Show them your passion, your expertise, your willingness to learn, and you'll be well on your way to a rewarding career as a vehicle glazier.
And for those of you who want to dive even deeper into this exciting field or revisit those interview questions we discussed, be sure to check out the show notes. We've got links to RoleCatcher's incredible resources waiting for you. Until next time, happy job hunting.